Hello, everyone, and welcome to a plot discussion thread. And this week, it's about Baleros, Baleros, and we're gonna discuss all the plot points that's going through will happen in Belarus. We're talking about characters and plots because now Belarus is like the main plot point right now in the story. There's so many things happening there, and if you want you can comment in reaction and comments, and if you want to speak, tag me please, so I'll give you the word. So let's start with Belarus. I'm thinking we start with Erin. uh, well, Erin has had I will start like, well, Erin has had like quite a development, and she still needs a lot of time to work with her emotions and her feelings. She hasn't worked through everything yet. Uh, and I hope the Fairlings and Ulvama will help her do that. I mean, they already helped her a bit, but I hope they help her deal with all of her feelings and to deal with them like once and for all, instead of burning herself from the inside or trying to commit suicide and stuff. Lionette has healed her somewhat physically, uh, but she needs quite the mental healing. Mafia Hamster, go ahead.
Yeah, Aaron, the problem child. She kinda errant her confession, and yeah, I hope we get some more development there. That's my main point. Um, because this confession almost killed me. Seriously, it almost killed me. And yeah, I hope we get some more of that, and it's hopefully finally time to meet up with the others. uh it's still gonna be a long time before Aaron is back at the inn, but I think there's gonna be some huge thing happening with maybe Neri and the others who are with the kids, and Aaron is gonna swoop in and help somehow. That's my prediction
Uh,
for
don't you
what.
don't you think she will play like a role in the Dyad Land, since color magic is her thing?
Huh? I haven't even thought about that one. I haven't even thought about that one. Yeah, that could actually be that she's more. Yeah, that could actually happen. But yeah, we'll see. I just want her to, whatever the thing with Olvama is, to get like determined and not just left alone, or it will kill me.
uh, yeah, that guy says, I feel like this is a good point for Erin to finally confront her traumas. So far, she has just been pushing them down. Traumas are all standing in line. Well, I agree with that. I think, the Pavilion of Secrets will be a great tool to deal with her trauma. Uh, to get some people there, talk to them, and deal with some of her stuff. I mean, Marsha has helped her a lot, which is like surprising. But yeah, but I think like she needs to talk about all of her traumas. Like she needs to invite Torin there and talk, if she knows, when she knows he's alive, and talk to him and deal with that thing, and then deal with her other traumas. Uh, that guy said Right? I feel like she needs to invite an expert in there that helps her to ask herself the right questions. Right now, she is suppressing so much that she mostly forgot about it, I suspect. Yeah, I mean, Erin has always been like, she's not really good in sharing her feelings. I feel like in the whole series, she shares very little. She showed her vulnerable side at Christmas once, and she was like broke down and stuff. So I don't think she wanna look so vulnerable. LFIM said Martha was asking Erin the right questions, but she can't stop acting like the 30th, frailing on Baleros around her or Olvama. Martha is annoying. I hope she gets sent like back to her village or they ditch her there. I really can't. I don't like her at all. Any more thoughts about Erin? That guy says Bowen might be the expert she needs if he survives the repercussions. Red and Quill, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that we saw Erin kind of deal with a lot of her trauma in the Frayling city. Um, like that whole, I don't know if it was the last chapter that came out. I think it was where like she's in the Battle of the Bands and her and Obama are fighting. Um, she like starts to actually start to um, put on clothes that are not just like a pants and a t-shirt and apron, and she starts to talk to Boehm and um, even like that like level 50 guy tries to talk to her. Everyone's talking to her, so she definitely was like trying. I think that Erin's trauma, or rather her way of dealing with it, is going to be a theme for the rest of the book, because all level 50 people are crazy, and she's also crazy, and it's just going to be like her dealing with trying to exist in society when she's like kind of nuts. So I don't think it's something that like, oh, it'll be dealt with in like an arc or a couple chapters. I think it's something that's just going to continue, being a kind of like not a major plot point, but something that really affects the story for Aaron. And then the fact that her and Obama are kind of like in a relationship now, or I don't know really what you would call Aaron. Like she's like, she obviously doesn't think about sex that often, I guess. I don't know what you call it, because like she just like she was right there with Obama, and then she kissed her like on the forehead, and then she ran away. It was like she was like, wow, that felt so good, and then she just walked off. So I think that we're going to be seeing Aaron deal more and more with how she doesn't really fit in with society that much anymore. Or if she does, she's just totally affecting society. Because as we saw with that chapter, she was just affecting like all these Freylings, at least the children and like the adults. She started like a cultural movement in the city that's going to make it like the center of music for the in world, and that was just like random. That was just a random thing she did. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that. Yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you, Red Inkwell. LFIM says, I think she spent the rest of the volume moving from Frelling City to Frelling City, encouraged them to come out of hiding. I'm not really sure about that because, maybe they can get inspired by Paith because they revealed themselves, and it's also like a plot point I wrote in my notes. Um, but yeah, I think they maybe can be inspired by Paith and coming out, but I think they're still quite cautious after Attack of the Lizard Folk on them. That guy, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about, Battle of the Bands. I didn't really see that as Erin confronting her trauma, because, I mean, her real issues are, people dying on her behalf. That's what really gives her issues. Like, we saw it back in Volume 1 when Kilbuck died, for her. That sent her down a spiral. And again, when the Battle for Lisker, when all those goblins died for her. And I think that's something she really needs to confront, especially before she, starts any sort of relationship with Ulvama, because I think someone else said it at some point that she probably doesn't want to start anything like romantically because she's terrified of what could happen to her special person. And also about this whole, Fairling cities coming out of hiding. I mean, there's a very good reason why most Fairling cities are in hiding, because it's, very dangerous to be exposed. I mean, Jungle Tales sort of knew where a few of them were and made their lives absolute hell, because if they don't really have any sort of defense apart from, just being hidden, hiding is their best defense unless they have like an army of tall folk they can trust, because, just being small people comes with lots of disadvantages, especially when it comes to armies.
Thank you, that guy. Red Inquill says, but her and Ulvama were fighting over Gary confronting a death trip. Yes. Any more thoughts about Erin? That guy is typing. That guy, go ahead.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when you break it down, what they're fighting about, um, initially Aaron and Ulvama were, of the same opinion that, Gary shouldn't do this, but Gary managed to persuade Aaron that this is something he needs to do for various reasons. And so this wasn't really about him dying for her. So I think she was sort of fine for it, because she could see that this was something he was doing not for her, but for himself, and that it was a risk he was taking himself, fully knowing what the consequences will be. While Ulvama was probably just worried that if another friend dies, this will send Eren down another spiral. And I mean, she would be very sad if he dies, obviously, but she could also see that this was his mission that he was doing.
Thank you, that guy. LFIM writes, Eren realized she couldn't stop him, and Ulvama thought she was doing self-harm by not trying harder to stop him. Yeah, I agree with that. Alright, so we'll move on to the next topic, and that's Rabbit Eater and company. Seraphel and company. Rabbit Eater and Seraphel have Kissenver also, and the rest of them. After the labyrinth, and now they're facing Jungle Tail. What will happen to their group, and will they reunite with Eren? How will they deal with that? So we're gonna discuss about Rabbit Eater's group and see what they're gonna do in Baleros. What plot relevant things they will do in Baleros. Will they ally with Niers to attack to try to get the eyes of Baleros? I think so. Oh yeah, Sir Marcus R.I.P. Damn, and that one like really upsets me. uh, all right, so let's start with that guy. I suspect Eren and Kalimfar crew will meet Eren relatively soon. Yeah, I'm not sure about that because I'm not sure like where are on the map they are. But I do believe like I think Rabbit and and company will meet Nears like soon instead of Eren. Uh, yeah, and they will probably help him because help him to deal with Jungle Tales and the Diet Land. LFIM says pour one out for Sir Marcus. Yeah. Red Inkwell writes, I couldn't remember who Sir Marcus was as a character. That guy, I also don't remember who he is. Shame on you both. Samu, go ahead.
Yeah, first for clarification, Marcus was the one night guy who basically accompanied Rabbit Eater from Israel on throughout his adventures with the Order of Seasons, basically. He was the guy right next to Rabbit Eater. So yeah, I do think he was kind of a cool character as well. Like not really one of the he didn't have as much main character energy, but he was a really nice sidekick for Rabbit Eater. But yeah, I think on the whole crew thing that they are gonna emerge from the jungle sooner or later to meet up with someone of the main plot, because I don't think reading about endless hit and run tactics by armies in the jungle is that interesting. Like Kusenberg could make it very interesting, obviously, but all the other characters would have nothing to do, basically, I think. Especially in an army versus army battle, the crew is just not strong enough to really take on jungle Tates long term. So I really hope they're gonna emerge soon and be closer related to how closer related to Nears and how whole armies move on Baleros than all the jungle fighting.
Yes, thank you, Samu. LFIM replies like to answer like who was Sir Marcus. He writes he was one of the Ivory Five. That guy writes, was he the guy taking notes about goblin culture? LFIM says he was the indiscreet, and that guy says R.I.P. Yeah, he was basic. That guy says he was basically one of Rabbit. Yeah, he was Rabbit Eater's close friends. Yeah, he was actually, and he was the one who accepted Rabbit Eater as a goblin because he is a knight. Go ahead, that guy.
Oh yeah, I remember who he is now. I just didn't have his name, and I did a quick search, and I don't think he actually has a wiki page. Poor guy. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think Rabbit Eater and the Callan 4 crew will, meet up with Eren because I mean they have to be close by, right? They were in the same battle and got swept away by the same current, I assume. So they should be roughly close by, and I think it just makes sense for them to team up with the Freelings so that Eren and her Freeling crew can, travel through the jungle faster and more safely.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, that guy. LFIM writes, I thought Eren and Elvama were going to stay hidden until Neri died or whatever is going to happen with her plot. But their new outfit gives them anonymity so they can move in the open without blowing Neri's cover now. Any more? Yes, that guy writes, it's way easier to stay hidden as Freelings. Yeah, I agree with that. That guy still types, how long do you guys think they will stay small? Well, I'm not sure they will stay small for that long until I think they will stay small until they reach the next big city where they can transfer them back to their size. I hope they do. They enlarge Hamster and Beetle as well. So that will be quite interesting. LFIM says hopefully they get the ability to change sizes like Neri. If they want to stay hidden, staying as friendlings for now might be better. Yes. Well, if there are no more comments about Rabbit and his group, then we'll move on to the next topic. And that is Neri. Neri and Ryoka. I wrote them together because I'm not sure what's like Ryoka, how big a part will she play besides the seed of that wand will do. Yes, so Neri and Ryoka. Neri, she's going to Olinox, I think it's called, and they will. She will try to free and recruit some people from there. So it will be quite interesting to see how will they react and how the bush rangers will react as well, and what will happen there. That guy writes, I assume Ryoko will pop into any plotline she wants since she is very mobile. As soon as Rabbit Eater is found, she might zoom over. I'm not sure. It seems like Ryoka right now is quite, quite aimless besides the seed, which she's not doing anything about right at the moment. So it's quite annoying, like she and Tyrion now, that she just fly to sleep with him and then she goes back and do whatever she wants and stuff because I don't I'm not sure why Tyrion is there besides trying to get her or whatever. This LFIM writes Visofacin and Teleteverian should show up with the seed sometime soon. Wait, Ryoka doesn't have the seed? That guy writes, she is still waiting on Visofacin to play courier and she's traveling all over Baleros to go on missions for Forgotten Win and have relations with a war criminal. Yeah, I agree with that. LFIM writes, Visofacin went to the inn to get it and they got the spare from the Palace of Fate. So where's the original one? She has the original one, right? They have like two seeds now. The inn had both. Ah, okay. So they took the palace one to Ryoka, or what? LFIM says the inn had both. That guy says she left it at the inn. Shot said no. Unibro has both. Who is Unibro? As I recall, the plan currently is to plant the seed in the Dyad lands. Oh, Teletaverian. Yeah, thank you, LFIM. Yeah, thank you guys with the correction of Unibro. That's mean Teletaverian. Yeah, but so this Ryoka will plant. I hope Ryoka plants it. Do you guys and girls think that she will plant the seed in the Dyad land? I mean, it's implied that she will plant it there. So, what is the general theory, or besides, like, is she gonna plant it there, or what? LFIM says, alright, Visofacin is supposed to meet up with Erin too. He has a deal with Leonette to protect her. Yeah, that's true. That guy said I can spell lots of names. It's crazy. That guy says she has no other place to put it. The seed. He means the seed in the Dyad land. both and spy, right, in the area that the Forgotten Wing Company cleared. That's probably the only place to put it. Shots, right, yeah, that's the only place they could actually grow it into World Tree. LFIMs, right, the Dyed Lands are supposed to be great forests, so it makes sense to plant them there. Maybe Aaron will finally use Ritual of Verdant Bloom to help it grow faster. That guy, right, it's all going to tie together. Aaron has color magic, the thing in the center of Dyed Lands, and the seeds. It's a great point about Ritual of the Verdant Bloom to help the seed grow. And World Tree, do you think that that the Treants will come back if the World Tree start to blossom and grow? And is that like the beginning of lots of this lots making more seeds for I can't remember the species. That guy says I think it will be the finale of the volume. And no, they can't. They are coral and will break apart out of the water. Botham Spy, go ahead.
Sorry, I was muted. Um, Again, details, because some of this stuff stretches back to like volume 8. It's been a while. I thought that the treants were just kind of like ossified wood from like being at the bottom of the ocean so long, and not strictly like coral. And I mean, you can't really restore ossified wood, but, this is the Wandering Inn's magic. Um, I think though, to actually like address the question, um, the treants, I'm really not sure um what they're going to do, because like the major thing is the dyed lands need to be cleared. And the dyed lands are like nowhere near, like, all the Forgotten Wing Company did was like go in and clear one sector basically of like what I think uh what's his name, Years mentioned 7 or 8 different colors that they would have to go in and clear. And um, the Jungle Tales now has its hand full with the color invasion, and um, the Dullahens and the Centaurs don't seem to be that particularly useful in actually like pushing what's his name, Nears is. So I think it's probably going to be up to Nears to create enough of like a, a reduced threat environment for the treants to actually come back onto Baleros. I don't think they're going to come back onto Baleros until they probably tackle what's at the center. And or like it just seems like cleared enough for them to like sneak on. Yes, I know they're treants, but to sneak onto Baleros.
Thank you, Botham Spy. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, they might go. I mean, they were heading to what weren't like the Treants and the Druids and the Sea Shepherds were all heading to Baleros, Baleros. So probably they have understanding of what's happening there. LFIM writes, I hope we see some new sentient species emerge from the Deadlands. Inward has lost so many over the years to genocide and extinction. It would be nice to see some recovery. I agree with that. Spider folk come back. They should be, it seems like a Baleros type species. Both of Spy, go ahead.
I think at least some of the color species they do seem sentient. Like they have forms of communication. They're able to do advanced planning and like society building, um
But I
and
think LFIM means like some of the species that were extinct before, like the halflings and the spider folk, these kind of stuff, you know, like some species who were not like magically induced species, like what's happening in Diadland right now.
Okay, I see.
Thank you, both on Spy. That guy writes the Sea Shepherds are apparently on some sort of crusade to kill someone else. LFIM writes, the wolf man sounded promising. That guy writes, I don't see how the extinct species can spontaneously emerge just because of a 1,000-year time jump. Alright, so now we can move on to the next topic, and that's the eyes of Baleros, and if the lizard folk will get them and resurrect their god in this volume. Will it be final volume finale, or what will happen? Because we know like Veten has arrived to Baleros, and they will probably soon have the next the second eye of Baleros, or at least one of them. That guy writes, I still don't get why Veten is doing any of this. He's probably like carrying the torch of the thief to get like yeah, I'm not sure why either, to be quite frank, but you know, there's no reason for him to do it like at all, because he's not participating in the Child of Thief King or whatever his title was tournament. LFIM writes, Veten might be the dumbest person in the story. Actually, that was that Drake guy, the painter guy. I do think. Tessie, thank you. That guy writes, I want to level, everyone else can just die, lol. Pacifist, by the way. Yeah. Botham Spy writes, I think that the eyes probably will be somehow part of the finale. Either they're united and they need something else to complete the ritual, or they just straight up do the ritual. So, but the eyes, like, they will change Baleros. You know, they will change the politics of Baleros and the great companies and stuff. So we do see like all four companies combining their strength, and all other companies like combining the strength to limit or at least destroy the lizard folk if they rise again. I mean, not all of them, but the one who's gonna create the gods. That guy writes, we will probably get a juicy lore drop. Shut writes, damn dumbest guy in the story, Tessie, and he still isn't as dense as Eren. Yeah, but you know, it's just, to me, it's just like I still feel like about the whole like Antinium giving up the eyes. I know, I understand, like they value Gilgamesh sword really a lot, and it's one of their treasures. But I mean, you know, like the ignorance of the Antinium about these magical acumens. Probably they have other artifacts that are also like relics grade, and they don't know what to use them or what to do with them. That guy writes, everyone will need to figure out what to do with them, assuming Jungle Tales doesn't win and dominate Baleros. That guy, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a bit weird that they had this godlike magical artifact, and I think they were using it as a refrigerator or something. But you know, just giving it away would probably be, from the Grand Queen her perspective, the best move, just because, you know, it causes chaos in the world, and the Antinium will probably be the least affected by all of this, assuming Jungle Tail rises again with their thing that might be a god.
I don't think like they knew what the orb does or what the eye does. I don't believe they even knew that, because they were just using it like for whatever, like to strengthen the protection spells or whatever. I mean, even I don't believe Zern even knew what kind of how much powerful the eye was. Thank you, that guy. Botham Spy writes, Inworld seems to have recurrent themes of old power coming back for round 2, even stronger than they once were. Jungle Tales, the Dental King Floss, Askarash now that he can level undead, etc. So Jungle Tail might be in position to overrun Baleros, perhaps even something in the Dying Land might give them a power-up. LFIM writes, Erin will use the faith of her followers to become a god and smite the lizard god. Dominance. I sure hope not. I don't want Erin to be a god or near that. Just let her be an innkeeper that wanna help her friends. And Red Inkwell writes, they were using them to refrigerate food. Yeah, that guy writes, Kissimver would be proud. Botham Spy writes, and considering the number of emerging godlike and faith-based threats emerging, Mog, the Prophet, the followers of the dead gods, etc., she might invent a kindness-based religion as a way to defeat against this. I feel that guy writes, I feel like something in the Dyed Land will help the opposing side to stand up to God-powered jungle tales. Any more comments about the eyes? Oh yeah, by the way, the second eye is in the possession of what's their name? It's in the possession of the Gazers. Yeah, thank you, LFIM. So they need to go and get the Gazers, and we know like they are one of the great companies, but there are not that many, so they probably will be overrun by the lizard folk. That guy writes, I assume the Eye of Baleros, the company, will also play a huge role. He also says, getting ready for some big lore. We know almost nothing about them so far. You know, one of the big lore I want to know is how lizard folk evolve, how many evolutions they have, and why does every evolution has like a different condition or whatever. It's probably I want to know more about them. That will be a juicy thing to know. The next topic about discussion is going to be about Kara and Tom. Now we know Kara and Tom both are in a particularly not good situation. Do you people think like they're gonna meet with Seraphil first? Kara will meet up with Seraphil, and will they attack the rear fleet, the rear people there, and free the Earthers? What will happen to the Earthers that Rear have kidnapped, or the Blighted Kingdom? And what will and how will Tom deal with the situation? Will he be healed? Will he be mentally present at all, or will he be just insane? That guy writes, we don't know where Kara washed up, as far as I am aware. I don't remember if Tom got away with BK or not. I think he was with the BK. Botham Spy, go ahead.
From what I remember, what's his name? Tom,
Yeah.
like was like present during the capture, or really the sinking of Kara's fleet, and they were near Baleros, I think. So I think Tom is on Baleros.
Yeah, he is.
So, I think he has like a completely different like path ahead of him. I don't think it's really going to intersect with the main story, except like he's gonna come out as like a wild card, or imagine imagine Tom goes into the tunnels. That would be very interesting. He might be too insane for the tunnels.
You mean the labyrinth of mind, the mind labyrinth that Seraphel and the other were in?
Yes, or somehow like he uses that to free himself like of the Blighted Kingdom's control. Because I think down there like all forms of like skills that could reach there were like blocked or something. Um, but there was that like video call that Nuvitin, or not Nuvitin, but somebody on Terandria had. Um, but yeah, somebody can probably correct that.
Thank you, Boson Spy. LFI, I'm right. Skara was on the beach near the harbor where the BK was birthed, and Tom was with Rear during the Palace of Fates because Orpheus told his troops to send the clown to kill Eren. That guy writes, Tom might intersect with Neri, her plotline, and the poor souls also stuck with red classes and used as weapons. Lots of similarities. Well, that's actually a good point, that guy. I want, maybe his interaction with the other weapons and how they treated will help him to deal with his mental situation. Samu, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there was a foreshadowing. I think one of the first chapters that we heard of Tom going to Baleros to fight the Dyed Lands. The last line in the chapter, I think, was because in Baleros there are titans or something. The line was more epic. I just don't remember the exact wording anymore, and that's why I still think that the key to Tom is definitely Nears, and how, because I think the also the Blighted Kingdom is, it takes a huge risk with putting Tom on Baleros with all those basically big factions around and without much of a support crew to keep the secret, basically. And I think Nears is the guy to figure out what's happening there exactly and to basically dismantle whatever Reader does with their secrets and whatever. And yeah, so because of that foreshadowing, and because Nears seems to be the guy to help him, I think those two are gonna intersect more than Tara does with Tom again, or even Eren with Tom. I think Eren and Nears might play a role together, but Nears is definitely in the picture for meeting up with Tom sooner rather than later, I think.
Thank you, Samu. That guy writes, BK might want to scoop them up. God, no! I hate that guy. Tom might have standing orders to kill Nears if he gets an opportunity. Actually, I don't know because, like Nears have threatened or send a powerful letter to the Blighted Kingdom, but I'm not sure if they will start a war with a great company. Red Ink will go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk more about Kara and how she knows that it was the Blighted Kingdom that attacked her, and that coupled with the revelation that truth spells can be faked by the Manus leader after Eren ambushed her, will start to chip away at the Blighted Kingdom's hold on the world and their total support. So, because Kara is probably one of the most influential cultural people in the world, and with the spread, she's already done like something against Tarandrian necromancers or something. She did a music video against like monarchy and necromancers. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kara, if she can recover um, her ability to make music and get back with her group, if she starts to be outspoken against the Blighted Kingdom. Yeah.
Thank you, Red Ink. Well, actually, I agree with that. I want Kara so badly to get on a platform and tell them like the Blighted Kingdom tried to kidnap her and they kidnapped her band uh, on on Scrying Orbs, so everybody can watch and see, and that will sow more doubts about the Blighted Kingdom, and they might start losing support all over. That guy writes, if it is Tom, they can just make excuse and sacrifice the clown. If it is every discovered what the BK did, the second ritual, they are going to be in deep shit. That guy, go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny, the power of fangirls brings the Blighted Kingdom to its knees because, she has her huge fan base and stuff. But I assume if it's, just a single person speaking out against them, the Blighted Kings have, skills and magic and methods to, suppress the information that go way beyond just regular truth spells, because the Blighted King is like level 50 or I don't think he's level 60 yet. I mean, he's very old. He might be level 60.
No, he's
But I
over
mean, at
level
that level.
50 in 2 classes.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, still, level 50, he's probably got a ton of shit, affecting the world, ensuring that the Blighted Kingdom is always in good standing and stuff like that.
yes, but after that Manus lady said about you can break through spells and stuff, everything anybody will says will be in doubt if they're telling the truth or not. And even if he has like a king's truth, Kara has no motivation to lie. I mean, why would she lie about the Blighted Kingdom if she was not actually attacked? She can also maybe show on Scrying Orbs how they capture her band, and she can actually show and when they and when or if they free her band, she can show that they are Blighted Kingdom's troops. She can show them on a Scrying Orb, or they will confess or something. Yes. LFIM says he's level 55 in King of Blight, King of Centuries class. Red Inquil says he's like a king of lies or something. Kara has charisma, maybe. I really hope Kara has like reached level 50 because of that. So she has also like a lying skill. LFIM, maybe they'll widely publish Merindo's book about killing the monarchy and start a mass uprising. That guy says the smart ones will resist BK, lying skills, but I suspect most won't be able to resist. Alright, thank you all. Now let's move on to the new dragon. I can't remember his name, but the new dragon, will he play a bigger part? Balsam, yeah, that's true. Thank you, LFIM. The new dragon, what kind of role will he play in the plot? Will he go and meet with Teriarch and other dragons? Are there any other dragons on Baleros? Yeah, and will the Dullahan hunt him down and kill him? Red Inquill, go ahead.
Yeah, so Nears says that he has an inn that he wants Balsam to take as his next like charge, where he like just protects an inn. So he's obviously talking about the Wandering Inn, and he'll just like he'll be like kind of like an Obama kind of deal where he just lives there and eats food and is like just like a color character in the inn. And Teriarch does go to the inn pretty often, so he's definitely going to meet him. And then also, I don't know if tome is going to get as high up in Israel as the Wandering Inn. You know, that'd be kind of crazy with his army. I think he's just going to be in new lands, but it would be strange if the Pardaba brought the dragon killer general to Israel and him and Teriarch never fought, you know. So I'd be interested to see what happens. Like there are now like four. There's going to be like 4 dragons on Israel with Teriarch, the Atzelia dragon, and then the dragon from Manus, and then also what's his name? Balsam. Yeah. So Balsam is also not like, I don't think he's as young as the dragons that were like being raised on Israel from like hatchlings. So I think that he's pretty like old, and he's been around for a while. He's just not like he's not really been trained by an elder dragon. So when he meets Teriarch, it's gonna be like a huge thing for him, because he's gonna learn a lot about dragon magic or whatever. Because he wasn't using any magic himself. All he did was he was just fighting, and then he used like the quote unquote dragon breath scroll, but that was really just him breathing fire. So I think that if he meets Teriarch, he's gonna learn magic or something, and it's gonna be really interesting. Yeah.
Thank you, Red Inkwell. I do. He is older than Rafaela and that dragon in Oteslia, but I think he's like in the 20s in human years. He's like in 20s, and he's still very fixated on sex and stuff. So I don't think he's that old. So he's probably a couple of centuries. So still like in his 20s in human years, I would guess. That guy writes, Erin will finally get those dragon friend levels she deserves. Yeah, baby. Level 42. Dragon friend. Samu, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's just a treat for us readers, because our teenage dragons don't really cut it, and Teriarch is just too old. So he's too good at what he does and everything, and kind of doesn't have the energy. And I think Balsam is the right dragon age we need. But I think a little bit of the undercurrent in his scenes was that I would say he's older than his 20s. He seemed very world wise. He's no Teriarch who has basically played the whole game hundreds of times, but he's been around, and he's more of a working class dragon, it seems to me, like hanging out with the working class folks and not with a lady like Teriarch does. And I think there's gonna be some depth to him, but for now he's just a treat to us. And I don't think he's gonna end up on Israel that soon. So I don't think we need to think that far. There's gonna be some things on Baleros where he's gonna play a at least decent role, and he's definitely gonna meet Eren before Israel. So we will see if he makes it to the end. But yeah, I would want to see him to meet Eren, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, Samu. Both in Spy. Go ahead.
This is just something small, but I think functionally Balsam is also going to be there so that oh, so the Sariant Lamb's requirement to earn the respect of other species, does it have to be other leveling species?
Yes, they have to be over level
Um,
57.
okay, so he's not going to cut it for the Sariant Lambs. Never mind.
Thank you, Botham Spy. LFIM writes, I hope he teaches Eren how to use proper Dragon Breath. Yeah, I mean, she has her breath, I mean, her fire breath. and maybe he can teach her like fire dances or something. But I don't know if he knows them. Balsam, he also LFIM also writes Balsam is we have a Ralk abroad. Yeah, probably. That guy writes Balsam can give Erin and her crew an off the books ride across the ocean. Yeah, I'm not sure he's. Yeah, probably. I mean, the Freelings don't weigh much, and if they only the Freelings, but Erin won't go without Rabbit and the others, so probably not. Now we can. Any more thoughts about Dragon? Samu writes a more out there theory. Balsam is Teriak's unknown great grandchild. He's probably way too young to be great grandchild, but yeah, could be. It's strange that we haven't seen any dragon in Terendria or in Chandrar yet, but probably they will come. All right, so next topic. People are still writing. Chandrar kills dragons. Yeah, that's true. Red Ink Will writes Chandrar kills dragons. That guy writes Chandrar is full of dragon killer nations. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I forgot. Like the Shield Kingdom are made specifically to against dragons. Red Ink Will there. If there are, they are in the sandstorm. Yeah, probably. Next topic is the Dungeon of Souls. What is inside, and will we see the resolution of Dungeons of Souls? Will Erin be part of it? Who will go in, and what's inside? Will we find an actual elf inside, or what? So come with your theories. Samu, go ahead.
I'm not sure what's in there, but I think that the Dungeon of Souls is, or the Labyrinth of Souls is quite a bit away in the story. So I don't think it's gonna be handled in the near future, or even just in the time Erin and Rabbit and Ulvama are on Baleros, because it just seems too high level. It's just like Niers has his hands full, and Niers also has like a plan with the Died Lands and stuff. So Niers is occupied as a character. So and he also said that he wouldn't go into the Labyrinth of Souls without something like Floss and his seven as a backup to take it on one more time when he's basically shortly before retirement or before everything's going down. So I'm really like, I think it's quite a bit away. We need more characters over level 60 at least to do that. And yeah, with everything else going on, we don't really need that arc right now.
Well, I'm not really that sure because yeah, I understand like they need very high level, but I think like Rabbit Eater is a Goblin Lord. Maybe he and Erin, and when Kissenver get level 40, also he will be very like beast-like if his all his classes consolidate and stuff. Seraphel like will be the anti-curse stuff, and like she's also like level 35, 36. So I think yeah, there's still maybe low level, but I mean they can compensate with that with the sheer quality. I mean of their classes, because like Rabbit Eater's class is like seriously absolutely absurd. That guy writes. Yeah, go ahead.
I would disagree, because Nier said he would have wanted Floss and his seven like going down there, and Aaron, Rabbit, Seraphel, they're not even close to that level, and Floss 7 also have decent classes. Like it's not. I don't think level 30 something princess is gonna cut it, and also no level 40 plus Goblin Lord. you would need something more than that. There is just not enough of our known characters there to do it, and most of them are, you would need a few level 50s at least.
So I'm not sure. After maybe the horns after they finish with Chandrar. I mean, like we know after they finish with Chandrar, they will come to Baleros. They will level enough to do that dungeon dive or whatever. That guy writes, Eren will not go dungeon diving. This seems like a nearest project for the future. I assume there's some sort of guide-killing weapon in there. I mean, Eren should know because they told her about God. She talked like with that Manos leader about she knows about God-killing weapons, and they are like everywhere. Not everywhere, but they are like specific places, and she knows of them. Botham Spy writes, one more thing. What if the glass strait had dragon? A glass dragon would be really cool and extremely deadly on Chandrar. Yeah, I do agree with that. It will be actually quite nice to see other kind of dragons. We don't know what kind of dragon is Balsam, do we? I mean, he just threw like dragon breath, but we don't know if he's like earth or... Oh, fire dragon? Yeah, thank you. Yes, LFIM writes, I like Darius' semi-joking theory that they'll take Ulvama into the dungeon and trigger a child safety mode when it detects goblin. Yeah, if they are, the elves will protect the goblins. They did it before, after all. That guy writes, that seems a bit unlikely. Eren is higher level than Ghazi, by the way. Yeah, Ghazi isn't even level 50. And LFIM writes, we know what the bosses are. A gigantic minotaur in 1,000-foot spectral hydra. He also answered me when he writes Balsam is a fire dragon. That guy also writes Balsam is a red fire dragon. Thank you for the info, both of you. But LFIM, are you sure as these are the final bosses? Because I don't believe they reach the end of the dungeon for the gigantic minotaur in the 1,000-foot spectral hydra. Yes, but are they the final bosses? Is that the end of the dungeon? Because I don't think we saw them. It was in the heart of... Okay, that guy writes, as I recall, Nier's claimed it was the heart of the dungeon. Okay, LFIM, right, Nier said it. It was the heart of dungeons. And there is that spell that tried to delete the GDI. Holy crap, man. Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting when we get to dungeon dive that dungeon. Any more thoughts about the dungeon? So we'll move to the final topic, and that's faith in the new land and the UN. I'm a bit annoyed, to be quite frank, that we haven't seen any kind of reaction of a Frerling city showing up in the public like that in front of everybody, going not hiding, and nothing comes out of it. I hope we see more of it. I mean, we haven't seen all these, we have seen they gave the bush rangers weapons and armors, and they're teaching spells and stuff. But what about technology? What they benefit from the UN? How much technology they get? And what will be the end game? Why haven't other nations contact them to get to try to give them money so they can learn spells and learning technology and stuff? So that's the final topic about the Freeling and how and are they the ones who are ruling the city, or is it the UN? That guy writes, you need to be in name rank plus for that dungeon. About the soul. Yeah, I do agree with that. LFIM writes, the Freeling invented Google Glass. Google Glass too. Yeah. But I mean, like, what effect will it have when you have Freeling stopped hiding and just showing up? That guy writes, the ruling council is made up of the United Nations and Paith, I think. How much do you think the UN have benefited from the Freeling being there? Guy writes, I assume the big companies will try to get something out of them. People are typing. I just want to see more of the United Nations, to be quite frank. I really loved it's one of my favorite world building stuff, like how they start growing and and do stuff. They have like they were heavily there was lots of chapters about the UN in volume 6 and some in volume 8 and stuff, but unluckily they went under radar now. That guy writes, Dullahan might blockade their harbor. Why do you think that? Botham Spy writes, I think once Baba decides what to do with Paith, they will become a new manufacturing hub once the situation is stabilized. Yeah, they will probably do that. LFIM writes, Nears was trying to get the other cities to join him, so it doesn't seem like he's getting much from Paith. Yeah, I think they're trying to be as neutral as possible. They're not. They sent him probably some help, but they're not participating like the other Freeling cities are doing. Botham Spy writes, because they have Ursers and advanced metallurgy. That guy writes, yeah, Pace refused to be his allies. He visited and everything, and they just turned him down. That guy, go ahead.
Yeah, assume that the Dullahans will, try to put pressure on Path because they got all this, amazing technology and amazing magic, and they don't want to, fall behind in the arms race. So I assume they will at some point find some way to pressure Path, if it's militarily or, through other means. And it's admirable that they want to stay neutral, but at some point, I think they are going to have to bend the knee to someone because right now the peckliers of the world are probably drooling over all this hyper advanced technology and magic that they have that is basically undefended.
Thank you, that guy. I don't agree. I think but Paith and the city are under the Forgotten Moon Company's protection, so I don't believe that Dullahan can just come and quarantine it or try to pressure them because they are still under Nir's protection. It will mean war against the Forgotten Wing Company. I don't believe that Dullahan will do that right now with their expedition to the New Land and Dragon Hunt. Samu, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with what you said right now. That Path is very close to Niers and very close to his sphere of influence. So there's not much that they weren't they also somewhat involved with Path and freeing it in the end? Wasn't that what Umina traded that one knowledge for from Niers? So I don't think there's a big ulterior motive of getting something from them. I don't think Frailing technology is very good, but it's not the best. And there's also the thing that Path is pretty much a city that has to rebuild first. So both Path and the Palankau, the humans or the lizard folk city that was around before Path could go there, are not really in a position to be a big player anyway. They're because they've been basically destroyed in Path's thing. So neither Nears nor any other big company could get much from them besides some knowledge, potentially. But knowledge you can get in other ways than to put on a military blockade, which would put you into the crosshairs of the most famous and Frailing there is, and also all other Frailings. So I think Path is in a good spot in that sense that nobody really wants to attack it, besides maybe Jungle Tales, and that if you would attack it, it would also basically destroy all relations to all other Frailing cities that don't side with Nears on that big a scale, in a sense.
Thank you, Samu. That guy writes, I don't believe they are under his official protection. Well, if you actually, I do believe they are because if nothing else, it's because of Geneva, and the UN is like full earthers, and I don't believe Nears will allow them to be under rule of anybody else. So actually, I mean, the whole city there is under his protection. Uh, LFIM writes, oh, I forgot. I completely forgot. Will Erin help the other first founding cities open their last boxes? Zenrir said the other gods aren't likely to fall for that trap a second time, but they contain secrets and blueprints. Yeah, could be. But I'm not sure if Erin knows. I mean, did the Zenrir and the others told Erin how to open the boxes? I'm not sure. That guy writes, how would she help? Is she any good at puzzles? LFIM writes, she met the gnomes and talked with them off screen. That guy, we need to shrink down Relk post haste. That is true. Yeah. Um, yes. So, yeah, that guy also writes, but I suspect that to open the boxes would require knowledge and understanding that's beyond Erin. They maybe gave her the secrets. I mean, we don't. There are lots of conversation like went off screen in the Deadlands that we probably don't know about. That will pop out when the plot requires them to do so. Samu writes, Erin had to remember Drevish whole blueprint of an inn. She wouldn't have been able to remember an 8-digit password beyond that. Yeah, actually, it's I mean, she has a memory skill. That guy, right? The question is if she can remember the secrets. It's usually very hard to remember something that you don't understand. LFIM writes, she wanted to talk to the Frailing in the village about the gnomes and boxes, but they didn't care. Kaido lives. Writes, Erin has perfect recall. They could have just recited information. But I do think it was mentioned after she woke up that she cannot remember everything, and there are some informations like she have forgotten, like the Tactus is sage or whatever, if I can remember correctly. That guy writes that only works on art stuff. Samu writes in poem or song form. That guy writes LMAO. If it flowed in the quest system, she can remember it. LFIM writes she could use the pavilion to pull up the memories. That guy says that is very good point. All right, guys. Any last thoughts about this Baleros plot discussion before we end the stream? All right. Thank you all. And all right, they're typing. LFIM asks, do you think we'll see Mori? The druid mentioned her. I don't even remember who that is, to be quite frank. Dragon Lord of War. Yeah, Dragon Lord of War, Honu Markane. She's hibernating. Yeah, we know that she is still alive, but I'm not sure if she's in Baleros or maybe Terendria, but we don't know where she is. Maybe that is a dragon on Terendria. Yeah, I do think that dragon is on Terendria. Yeah, probably. Otherwise, next week's discussion is gonna be about Rear, Drath, Minotaur Islands, and Goblin Island. So I'll see you in the same time next week. Thank you all for participating in the discussion. That guy writes, I think it makes more sense for Dragon Lord of War to be on the continent of War. All right. And with that, we'll end up the discussion. Thank you all for participating, and we'll speak next week.